What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and as everything seems to be keeping up, the fervor around Netflix's release of a film about an 11-year-old twerking dance crew, even more information has resurfaced. Many in Hollywood defending the film, and I've got to issue a bit of a correction here. As we understand more about the film, it appears, at least from other coverage, that this film is actually intended to paint a picture of how young girls end up in these situations. The problem is, the film is doing exactly that to them. We're worried about young girls being looked at with an adult eye, but we're going to also produce a film doing that same thing and make money from it. The film itself may not be as evil as people think, but it is a walking, talking hypocrisy, which is exactly why Hollywood, people like Tessa Thompson, are sending out threads to defend the film. Even though the trailer on YouTube is nearing 700,000 dislikes, I think it's just time to admit that this film probably wasn't a good choice. You see Tessa Thompson here, Brie Larson's friend, Tessa Thompson. I should probably title the video. Brie Larson's friend defends Cuties. Tessa Thompson, disappointed. Sorry, Cuties is a beautiful film. It gutted me at Sundance Fest. It introduces a fresh voice at the helm, which is why it's so important to Hollywood. She's a French Senegalese black woman mining her experiences. The film comments on the hyper-spicification of pre-adolescent girls. Disappointed to see the current discourse. Well, it's Hollywood. Are you acting like Drew Barrymore didn't exist? Natalie Portman, what's her name? Jodie Foster. These are the same people that gave Roman Polanski a standing ovation. I understand that, maybe you wanted to hold up. Why Tessa Thompson cares is because the director is a French Senegalese black woman. That's what Tessa Thompson cares about. And you see a lot of people saying, all the respect I had for you just went out the window. The co-founder of the Sundance was jailed. We're going to talk about that for spending time with children several times. And let's take a look. Everyone keeps saying, remember when Netflix said, but guys, this received an award at Sundance. That was a part of their apology, remember? We're deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for this film. It was not okay. Nor was it representative of the French film, which won an award at Sundance. Oh, well, okay. Well, that's cool that you won an award at Sundance. I mean, that's probably pretty interesting. Yeah. Oh, Sundance co-founder sentenced again in second case. A filmmaker who co-founded Sundance Film Festival and produced a movie whose lead actress won an Oscar in the mid-1980s was sentenced on Tuesday for going after kids again. The second time. 72-year-old creep. He will get at least 6 years. I mean, are you kidding me? By the way, he did this in his 60s. I mean, this is the co-founder of the agency that gave the award. We can see the trailer is currently at 670,000 dislikes. Some of the top comments: "This is not a coming-of-age story. This is insane. Straight up ped material. Don't tell me an 11-year-old is going to, quote, be herself and embrace her, and, quote, embrace her inner female by dancing like this. Netflix, your parents are bad people for trying to protect you." I mean, look, I'm not saying the film should be banned. I won't go that far, but I would rather it be released I want to see everybody who gave it a positive review. I want them on a watch list. I want to know what exactly these people are up to in their spare time, because we know that Hollywood is absolutely full of this trash. You could look at the critic consensus right now. Rotten Tomatoes has, from what I can tell, locked the audience score ability, because there's only 95 reviews. You can see 6% audience score, 82% Rotten Tomatoes score. You can just read some of these reviews. How and why was this project allowed? Please stop making movies. Please. Gross, really uncomfortable, disgusting. What is Netflix doing today? Extremely inappropriate images throughout the film. Netflix, do not show this. Parents, do not support this. Garbage, never should have been created. And more and more and more. And you know what's also interesting? The initial backlash, people thought, I looked that day and the Netflix stock was totally fine. But yesterday it dropped almost 6 points for the first time in a very long time. They had a brief drop back on August 11th. But if you look at the year to date, it's been, ever since lockdown in March, it's been consistently going up. Now, is that because of the film? Maybe, maybe not. It's difficult to know. It could just be a Friday cash out, people wanting to get their money. It's absolutely possible. But, you have Tessa Thompson and more defend Cuties. Again, I will say, and one of my subscribers sent me an email, and they said something along the lines like they were very disappointed in me because I didn't make it a bigger deal that it was just the marketing and that the film should have been. The film isn't. I mean, I feel like the first video I made, I couldn't know that. After some research in the second video, I talked about that, and today I talked about that. Yes, the intention of the film is to point out, the exploits that young girls have to go through, but they're literally doing it. And just wait till you hear this quote. Just wait. You can see Cuties is a beautiful film. In an essay of In Their Own League, writer Kaz Armstrong on Netflix said Netflix betrayed the director by originally marketing the film with spicy images of preteen characters. When Netflix's marketing put out this provocative poster, they are deliberately leveraging the most controversial aspect of the film in an inappropriate way. They're doing exactly what the film itself puts under the microscope, taking advantage of these girls without the mature decision required. It's clickbait. Well, isn't that what you did by making this film? And let me just share, I want to share just, there's an interview going on how this film came about. And I just want you to, I'll read it in their own words. All right. What was the inspiration for this project? It came from the director's personal experience. She grew up in a large family living in one room in the 19th district of Paris in a social housing project. She regularly goes back to the neighborhood to see her family, and in one of the local festives, she saw a group of 11-year-olds dancing this way to an audience with many mothers wearing traditional headscarves. She found it fascinating and disturbing, and it raised the question of what role models young women can follow. It's a very visceral movie. It really got under her skin, and we feel it. How did you cast? Now here's I'm not going to put like spooky music behind it, but I'm saying, how did you cast this 11-year-old female? The casting process was a saga. We spent over 6 months and saw 650 candidates. And it was only in the very last hour of the last day that we found Fatia. It was a really emotional moment. Now, no disrespect to this kid. She's 11 years old. She doesn't know any better. Disrespect to her parents. 650 little girls coming in to twerk for you? It sounds like the director, this is just my opinion. It sounds like the director has got is into this thing and used this film as a reason. 650 You had to bring in 650 11-year-olds to twerk for you. Really? There is no way to narrow it down before that? I'm sure all those audition tapes are securely kept too. But then this quote. How did the director work with the young cast? She already worked with the young cast in Mamans. It's amazing to watch. She works at the same level as these kids. She has a deep and intimate relationship with them. She acts with them. She cries and they cry. There's a magical link and a deep sense of trust. To me, someone who brought in 650 young girls and connects with them on a, she works on the same level and a deep sense of trust. I don't know. It doesn't sound good. It sounds like the director, at the very least, is like has an obsession with this. It sounds like the director maybe used this film as an excuse. I don't know. It sounds gross. That's their own words. I don't think Netflix should pull the movie because, you know, the kids that worked on it aren't going to get paid. But 650 children's parents took their kid to go twerk for some director. 650. I would love to have seen what the casting call looked like. Parents, terrible parents, bring your kids. To me, if anyone was taking advantage of these girls, it was Netflix in purchasing the film, the director, and everyone else around. I mean, can our culture sink any lower? I thought we had hit rock bottom with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's WAP, an acronym for, oh, I didn't even know that. Okay, gross. I mean, hot, but also gross. Was hailed as a beacon of female empowerment, and critics were labeled misogynistic prudes. Then Netflix announced it was adding the French film Cuties to the streaming service with a promotional photo that blatantly... I mean, did Netflix do that on purpose to drum up interest in it? Probably. They're just as to blame as anyone else. These times. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.